Hello and welcome back, ladies and gents, into another beautiful DuckTales analysis video. And we are about to set into the wonderful world of Tokyo-Yoke. And though it seemed like a bit of a stretch, it looks like I wasn't too off by the margin after all. Within my Season 3 premiere analysis video, I had predicted that the sign displaying multiple locations wasn't there just for show. It's apparent that this is more than likely a way of showing us, the audience, that we will more than likely be visiting all or at least most of these destinations. And would you look at this? It seems like we will be taking ourselves to a trip to one of the listed cities, Tokyo-Yoke. And of course, the name is obviously a reference to the real-life famous city of Tokyo, but let's not skip too much as of right now. The beginning consists of Huey and Woodchuck Academy making s'mores with the rest of the team members. Even though it's obvious that he doesn't necessarily get along with the other teammates too well for being overly technical and doing everything by the book. Seriously, watch there be an episode this season where his book finally gets destroyed and he has to learn to adapt using his own wisdom. Anyways, he's not able to connect with others very well, except for Boyd, who ironically is an actual robot who understands about being technical. He also was revealed as a woodchuck within the premiere, as well as Doofus, who is nowhere to be seen. That is until later on in this episode where there's a memory of Boyd about to hug Drake instead of helping him vandalize his mother's pearls. So maybe he was just off doing something else in the meantime, like how Violet did more woodchuck work on the sidelines despite her not participating in any of the meetings. Also, I need to take a moment and talk about Doofus and Drake's relationship. You can tell from this short clip that Doofus still is a spoiled brat, but yet noticeably less vindictive in a way. I believe the old him would have tried to abuse Boyd, but instead he seems to have been receiving hugs from him in replacement of that. So perhaps Louie's idea of a birthday gift for Doofus was actually the greatest gift he ever could have asked for. I can see Doofus finally change in the future. Huey soon discovers about Boyd being a robot after he begins shooting lasers out of his eye sockets, and so he sends him to be inspected by Gyro. Also, is it just me, or does the sound of Boyd's lasers sound similar to the lightsabers from Star Wars? Like we get it, Disney. You own everything. There's also a moment where they enter inside of the laboratory where Fenton gives Boyd these Cyclops-like glasses to help his lasers from firing. Once again, Disney. We get it. But anyways, Gyro instantly recognizes that this isn't just any old robot, but it was indeed another one of his failed experiments from back in the day. So, once again, Mark is just a complete tech hack who just uses other people's tech. I guess he really can only hack and scam his way through life only. Plus, how many years did it take for some random bozo to realize that a random talking robot was under all that rubble? And what tech genius throws out the entire robot? Why didn't you just take out its power source? Besides that, back in the day, Gearloose 2 was an intern and worked for a doctor by the name of Akita located in Tokyo-Yoke. So they head their way there, and we are presented with the second episode in the series to not have a regular introduction, but yet a special title sequence, which was most likely done due to the longevity of the episode and its incredible significance. And by the way, this only transcribes to DuckTales. The first thing you'll notice right off the bat is a person cosplaying as Sailor Moon, and oh my gosh, if I see another Sailor Moon reference. But besides that, I want you to really focus on the civilians. The character designers did a really great job giving the anthropomorphic Asians a detailed and distinct look. Just wanted to mention that. Eventually, the gang attempt to sneak around the city so that no one recognizes Dr. Gearloose due to him being notorious for causing havoc from his failed experiments. But within practically about 20 seconds, he's instantly spotted by a detective who notices him from the past. Thankfully, Lil Bulb distracts her for the time being, and so they rush to Gyro's old laboratory. Fenton soon uses the Gizmo Duck suit to break down a few planks blocking the lab, but he does this with one arm. So now it seems like he's finally capable of retracting as many Gizmo Duck parts to him depending on how much of his famous phrase he says.
Blah. Blathering blatherskite!
And so, of course, saying his full phrase, blathering blatherskite, will trigger the entire suit to cling to him. He's now basically Iron Man, but has to say his catchphrase in order for it to function. Also, during this scene, notice just how much Fenton has to hold up so that his blasters don't make too much damage. Is it because Fenton is still struggling to control the suit, or is it just that powerful? While in the lab's domain, Gearloose's mentor Akita detects the group, and so we can finally have a reveal. And before you start typing in the comments, he is indeed the same breed as the Akita dog. dogs. However, not the same one known as Doge from the meme. Doge, on the other hand, is a Japanese dog as well, but it's actually a Shiba Inu, I don't know if I'm saying it right, and they do look somewhat similar to one another. Also, fun fact is that the voice actor is an actual Asian that's played in multiple films, including one of my personal childhood favorites, Teen Titans Trouble in Tokyo. He played as the ink monster villain that looks like a black symbiote Carnage, and that was due to him playing with the dark arts. Whenever Akita looks to the side and stares at an old photo with both him and Gyro, you can tell that Gyro resembles awfully close to how he was in the original DuckTales. Huey, Fenton, and Boyd decide to make their way into a robbery scene in order to get Boyd to become more heroic and use his powers for good. And whenever they do, apparently it's about a robbery between two pigs of all things. The symbolism is real, ladies and gentlemen. Just pure greed. It's also shown during this moment that Boyd has the capabilities of communicating with other tech, like in this situation when he asks for the bike locker to use a bike. Oh yeah, there's totally a Nani gag in there. Nani? We're switched back to seeing Gyro's point of view, who more than likely is used to having some sort of connection to Boyd in the past. And perhaps his lack of compassion comes from a broken heart for all we know. In a way, it's like how in the Astro Boy film, his father wanted to create new memories with his son, yet since he's just a robot, he looks down at him as nothing more than a failed experiment. Soon it becomes daytime, and Gearloose as well as the detectives surround Huey and Boyd even after he clearly saved Huey from his fall of death using his rocket thrusters. They soon make it to Boyd, showing him his own malfunctions from the past as the robot dubbed under the name 2-B-O. And it was also an easily predictable uncover of the true mystery, but yeah, Akita took control of Boyd and overrid Gyro's first core statuses. But there's something I really want you to realize from this. Gearloose claims that 2-B-O was the first invention of his to ever go rogue, yet it technically was never his mistake. Could it be that Gyro all those years was just festering up all of that guilt, becoming paranoid of making evil inventions, yet in the end doing exactly what he was afraid of? Or he just really stinks at making non-explodable, non-evil turning machines. Nonetheless, Boyd eventually loses control and goes into a rampage, which leads into the battle between him and Gizmo Duck. Something that creates a showdown so epic that it reminded me of Dragon Ball Z. The episode even included some really great soundtracks during the fight and chase scenes. But then at the bottom, I love how the fight Akita and Gyro had on the other hand, which was pretty much almost the exact opposite. I mean, even the inspector was throwing down hands much better. In the end, Gyro eventually gets the upper hand in the fight after Lil Bulb once again saves the day. He's possibly Gyro's greatest invention ever, not including Boyd. And I say that because he's been around since season 1 and still going strong. Plus, Gyro is still shown upgrading him as of today. Akita is taken to jail, but just like what I believe with Falcon Graves, I have a feeling that people like him will be released by F.O.W.L for future mayhem to come. Boyd, on the other hand, nearly remains under Akita's command. That is until Gyro shows trust and compassion towards him after years of separation. The episode ends with all of them being kicked out of Tokyo by the detective for obvious reasons. But hey, at least Fenton finally becomes Gyro's full-time employee for once. So my man Fenton is gonna be making a full-time check now. I mean, at least he's getting paid for one of his jobs now. As for Boyd, you can already tell from this entire episode that him and Huey are gonna become really great close best friends. A lot of people, including his very own brothers, take him for granted for all the knowledge that he knows, and it's gonna be interesting to see just how amazing this is gonna be. And I really hope to see some more Gizmo Duck and Boyd action because seriously, the fight scene was just flawless. I loved it. I mean, Gizmo Duck had even better fight scenes within this episode than he did for the season 2 finale. But with all that being said, I hope you all enjoyed not only the episode, but of course the episode analysis by your boy, TheNextBigThing. And once again, thank you all for supporting me even after this entire virus outbreak and everything. I just want to say stay safe, and I will catch you all in the next one. Peace!